View your audience as loving, as excited to see you, as on the edge of their seat deciding to work with you, even if it has been weeks since somebody has reached out. Decide every single day to think a certain way about your audience and detach from the outcome. You're listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. I'm your host, Jill Perrick, a business and mindset coach who specializes in imposter syndrome. If you feel like you're not as smart, capable, or worthy as you actually are, and that someone is going to find you out, then you've come to the right place. I went from being a struggling government worker, working my coaching business on the side, but feeling unworthy and burnt out, to making multiple six figures helping women overcome imposter syndrome so they too can sign clients, make bank, and have the business or career of their dreams. I am nothing special. I have a stuttering disability, ADHD, and I struggle with anxiety and depression. So if I can learn how to feel good enough and overcome my inner imposter, then so can you. Let's dig in. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. Absolutely love having you guys here. And we did it. You guys, we hit 50,000 podcast downloads on the pod. And we actually hit it way earlier than I even expected it to. September 28th was the official day that it happened, which is so freaking exciting. And we're literally almost at 55,000 downloads already as I'm recording this. And I'm just so grateful for you all being here. I do plan on doing some type of like podcast 50,000 giveaway, but I have a lot of things on the go, going on vacay in December, so it's gonna happen when it happens, but we might be celebrating 100K at some point, you know what I mean? But anyways, I just wanted to say that I'm so happy to have you here, and we had a record number of downloads last month, which was about 6,000, and that's fucking amazing. I'm just so happy to have you guys here. And if you're new to my world, welcome. I am Jill Perrick. I'm a business and mindset coach, and I specialize in imposter syndrome. I help my clients overcome imposter syndrome, step into their next level identity, and create 5-figure months on repeat. And guys, we have some really exciting things coming in November. So firstly, my 16-week mastermind, The Fraud Squad, is opening its doors on Thursday, November 16th. This mastermind is for coaches and online service providers who are between 0K to 5K months and want to uplevel their messaging and their content, get massively visible, and normalize 5-figure months. This mastermind is perfect for you if you're ready to unfilter yourself online, perfect your messaging, and improve your content, feel safe and comfortable being massively visible online, and normalize becoming the person who has 5-figure cash months. And before we open the doors, I am doing a free 3-day live stream event called Fraud to 5 Figures to get you all ready to join the Fraud Squad. All the things that you need to hit those 5-figure months. This is to help you to stop feeling like a fraud and learn how to bring in 5 figures in income every month through your offers. You can sign up for the live stream, the free live stream, at the link in my show notes. And then finally, Black Friday, we are going fucking off this year. I am doing deals on deals. I'm doing a low ticket deal. I'm doing a deal for the Fraud Squad. So if you join this round, you get a deal because of Black Friday. And I'm doing deals for one-to-one coaching and one-to-one coaching through Voxer. I am so excited to drop these deals. So keep your eyes peeled the week of Black Friday, or you can send me a sneaky little DM and be like, hey, Jill, can I see those offers right freaking now? But definitely sign up for the free 3-day live stream. This is not something that I do often, and it's gonna blow your freaking mind. And then at the end of that 3-day live stream, the doors to the Fraud Squad will open, and as part of the Black Friday deal, like I said, you'll get the Fraud Squad at a discounted price and an extra month of the group Voxer chat and 2 extra calls, a content party, and the welcome call in December. Okay, I love you. I can't wait to coach you. Now let's get into the episode. Today's episode was actually inspired by one of my amazing clients in the Fraud Squad. She dropped into Voxer with a request for coaching, and as I do, I left her like an 8-minute long voice note coaching her, to which she replied, "You're fucking brilliant. This is seriously the best coaching around this I've ever had," which she was really gassing me up there. So essentially, she was trying to decide on pricing for one of her programs, and something she brought up was that the reason behind her hesitation was the fact that she thought her audience wasn't warm enough, they couldn't afford it, etc. She had a lot of thoughts about her audience and what they thought and what they could and could not afford. And maybe you relate to this too. You feel like you're at the mercy of your audience and they are the ones who make the decisions. And I see this a lot with people putting up polls, asking their audience what they should do a program on. But the day you find me doing something because I think it's what my audience wants, please slap me upside the head. Because here's the thing, your audience and their readiness, how warm they are and what actions they take, it's all entirely up to you. You create your audience, and you also create what thoughts you believe your audience is having about you, your offers, and your business. So I called out my client on this, lovingly, of course. I never call someone out without permission or without having trust with them. And I was like, I think you're hiding behind this excuse. Because it's very easy to hide behind excuses that eliminate our responsibility from the equation, especially in our businesses. If something is out of our control, we don't have to figure it out or take responsibility for it. But this just cannot be how you run your business, y'all. Radical responsibility is a huge reason why I have the business I have today. I am responsible for my own healing. I'm responsible for my team. I'm responsible for my offers, my pricing, my audience, all of it. And you know what? Like, factually, this may not always be true. Like, I gave feedback to a team member recently, and even though I know that this particular situation wasn't my doing, I still took responsibility to deal with it. Because my highest self is not served in any way, shape, or form when I outsource responsibility. It only makes me feel powerless and, like I said before, at the mercy of my audience. So, back to my client having thoughts about her audience. They are just thoughts, a complete projection, like completely. The only reason why you have thoughts about your audience is because of deductive reasoning. You know, you think like, well, if they haven't bought yet, they aren't for a reason. I'm doing something wrong. And those reasons are usually negative like that. I'm not doing well enough, my messaging isn't perfect, etc. But in my experience, if someone is watching, I'm thinking the best of them. Like, it's just a matter of time until they reach out. It's just a matter of time until they want to work with me. It's just a matter of time and everything I'm doing is working. The story you tell yourself is the one that will play out. And something that I do with basically everything is not only do I think about how the story I'm telling myself affects me emotionally, but I also look at how it affects my actions. Hey guys, I hope you're loving today's episode. I am just taking a brief pause in today's episode to share with you a client testimonial. These testimonials are either from group coaching clients or clients who are in my one-to-one coaching program. And I can't wait for you to hear how I have changed their lives and their businesses for the better.
So what I enjoyed about working with Jill and being in her From Imposter to Empowered program was just discovering the depth of like the root cause of why I feel like an imposter and how to overcome it with actual tangible tools, and also being able to journal out and just discover and like dig deeper, which is something that is very important to me as a spiritual leader in this industry. And being able to have a space where that was facilitated and feeling safe and feeling held was amazing, and I am so glad that I had the opportunity to be in this program.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Now let's get back to the episode. So let me give you an example. For the launch of my content course on day 2, I had 2 sales. My energy was down, as it can absolutely be during a launch, because launches are fucking wild. You guys, there's something about an open cart that just makes you so insecure, but there is a good lesson here. So I had a full day of work and I was tired, and my thoughts were a little shitty because I had only had 2 sales, which is amazing in 2 days, but my brain just wanted to make it a problem, which of course it isn't whatsoever. A part of me wanted to just leave my story so the views could go back up, and I gave my audience some breathing room, whatever the fuck that meant. And then as soon as I had those thoughts, I snapped back into reality and I was like, nope, that is my dick brain trying to make me small. So I dedicated time to posting all my slides, the info about the course, etc. And I had sales and messages about the course when I woke up the next morning. And here's the thing, I had already done a lot of the legwork, so I could have had those results regardless if I posted my shit the night before. But the point is that when you allow your stories to run the show, they affect all of your actions, and your actions eventually compound over time, and then you're like holy shit, my thoughts really do create my life. Also, think of it this way. You are a speaker leading an event. When you walk into that auditorium, everyone is there for you. They are there to see you and hear what you have to say. And you created that audience by the way you speak about yourself and about what you're doing or selling. And guess what? There are some people who are going to come to your show and they might get up and leave. Some people might unsubscribe from your email list. I'm in an email program, and something they always say that if someone unsubscribes, it just wasn't relevant to them. But to your primal brain, that's scary as fuck. But it doesn't have to mean anything. It just means that your work right now isn't relevant to that person. But you don't want to focus on who isn't buying. You want to focus on who is, and focus on thinking about that people are right on the edge of their seat always. And back to the analogy of the auditorium full of your ideal clients. They are there for you, and you are the person who has the keynotes. Yeah, they might be there because of the topic you teach and do, but you are the speaker. You are the one who is teaching and leading the way. You get to decide what your audience thinks about you and how they respond to you. I had a coach who used to talk about client arenas and how you create the client arena. So that is kind of like the same concept here. They are there and responding to you because of what you do and what you tell them. And you can take your power back now and take back your control. You can decide to do that. This is the only way to be when you run an online business, taking full and complete responsibility for yourself. There isn't any other way, in my opinion, because the other way doesn't reap any reward or benefit for you. The other way is making other people responsible, and we can't control anyone outside of ourselves. When we take back our power and take radical responsibility, we have a say in the outcome and we determine our own result. When I was coaching my mastermind client in Voxer, even though I said it with love, I did call her out for hiding behind the excuse of her audience. And it's only because we don't always see those things for ourselves, because our brain is hell-bent on keeping us stuck and in the same place that we've always been, because it just feels safer there. But changing your perspective and reframing something you've previously had the same thoughts about for so long can change everything in an instant. During a time where business was slower for me, my thoughts about my audience were so toxic. I blamed them for everything. I saw them negatively. I was frustrated that they weren't buying. I had to take my power back and get real with myself and take full responsibility. Something I did was decide that I was going to do whatever it took. I was just going to start over with my audience. I was going to choose to see them as just taking their time deciding to work with me. And eventually, this newfound attitude stacked and compounded into a full client roster, clients coming out of nowhere, and 5-figure cash months. Be of the mind that you are in control and responsible. It will sting at first. The victim mindset will want to creep up if things get hard or frustrating. Trust me, I still have to catch myself in it sometimes. But this is a skill of an entrepreneur that you don't want to pass by, and it will bring you so much abundance and success if you employ it. View your audience as loving, as excited to see you, as on the edge of their seat deciding to work with you, even if it has been weeks since somebody has reached out. Decide every single day to think a certain way about your audience and detach from the outcome. Detach from certain people, no matter how easy it is to see your Instagram stories and think that a certain someone is going to reach out. Let yourself play in the realm of anything could happen and anyone could reach out at any point, because that's exactly what occurs when you begin to see results. Killer fucking content, building a hot audience, and being comfortable with being massively visible are some of the key pillars inside of the Fraud Squad, my 16-week mastermind for coaches and online service providers between 0K and 5K months who want to normalize bringing in 5 figures cash a month. We open the doors on Thursday, November 16th, but before we open the doors, I'm hosting a free 3-day live stream event that same week called Fraud to 6 Figures. You're going to learn how to go from feeling like a fraud to being a coach or service provider who brings home 5-figure months. The link is in my show notes to sign up for this free 3-day live stream event. And for my Black Friday deals, including the deal for the Fraud Squad, I want you to keep your eyes peeled the week of Black Friday, or you can send me a sneaky little DM on Instagram and I can send you that link. I love you guys. I'll see you next week. Thanks so much for listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. Head to the show notes to learn how you can work with me, where you can buy my best-selling book, You're Not Special, and how to get on my email list for free. Screenshot this episode and add it to your Instagram stories, tagging me at YourCoachJill. See you next time.